Good game.
Door shut. Please turn all your cell phones to vibrate or mute. Joining us now are members of the West Texas A&M Buffaloes. In the center, we have head coach Mike Nesbitt. Starting on the far left, we have senior linebacker Taylor McCullough. Next to him, number 5, is senior running back Aaron Harris. And on this end, is senior place kicker Sergio Castillo Jr. What a wild game, Coach. Just open with your thoughts looking back on what just took place.
Well, I think the first thing was, and I kept thinking about it the whole first half, was this might be the worst I've seen us play in a long time. I mean, I was like, gee, many Christmas. We fumble the ball, give up a one-play touchdown, and I'm looking around, and I'm just, I was like in amazement because I felt we had a great week of practice, even though it was a short week. Tuesday night, they practiced great. They really did. The kids did a great job, looked fantastic, and things just didn't go good for us early. And I think it goes back to the character of the team, and it also goes back to the culture that's been built around here of these players. These guys have been around here a long time as seniors, and the transfers that we always get, and we get in at mid-year or over spring ball, they learn how to buy in and step up and become part of a really good football team, and they learn how to become a Buffalo. And I think that was crucial in the third and fourth quarter. Halftime, I was a little worried at halftime a little bit, but once we settled everybody down and we started talking about it a little bit, I could see it in their face that we were really in good shape and ready to go. So, it was two real good football teams with a lot of character, and our guys just decided at some point in time to push back a little bit, and it happened. And I think that's what it's about. At some point in time, you're going to have to push back and try to win a game, and they did it, and the kids did a great job. And the two coordinators and all the assistant coaches are fantastic right now. It's just like a quarterback. I'm going to get too much credit and too much blame at times, but these kids did a great job tonight, and so did their coaches.
Talk a little bit about the strategy, especially early on. What appeared to be settling for field goals, but as the game progressed, those field goals added up and got you back in the game.
Well, yeah, it did. That comes back from sitting around the house every Sunday with my dad watching football and him yelling at the coaches because they don't kick a field goal when they should kick a field goal. And I knew if I didn't kick a field goal down there, he'd be ripping my ass excuse my language, when I got home tonight. So I apologize, but it's true. I mean, he would. And so that's part of it. But I also knew our defense at some point was going to push back and bend and not break on it, and they were going to get a stop, and we're going to keep making plays. And that's kind of what I felt was going to happen. I really did.
Let's pass the mic down the end there to Taylor. Taylor's second game in a row that the defense has really played strong, but talk about the second half, especially in contrast to what we saw in the first half.
Really, we just had to regroup and just settle down. I mean, we've been in this situation before, and our senior leaders just did a great job of keeping everybody together and just not panicking. I mean, once we played our game of defense, I mean, we stopped them, we started playing physical defense and coming right back at them. That's really the only thing that we were talking about in the halftime, is just keep together, believe, have faith in each other, and do your job. And we did that and came up on top.
And how much of this was kind of deja vu going down 14-0? Were you sitting there like, oh my gosh, we've been here before?
Well, yeah, I didn't think that in the first half. I was like, just stay in it. And then the fourth quarter came around, I was like, I feel like they had some doubt and thought about last year's game, and we were able to capitalize off that. And what a roller coaster, man! Just emotional ride.
After the rough beginning, y'all had to come back and make a key stop at the end of the game. Just talk about maybe the conversation y'all had before going out there for that last drive.
Just do your job. That's all our coaches were talking about, just doing our job. And you can see once, we have 11 football players doing their job, we're unstoppable, and that goes to offense too. And credit to our leaders again, Dustin Vaughn, Craig Watts, Curtis Slater. I mean, we really held together in the fourth quarter, and I think that's that made the difference in the game. We believed and we just regrouped, That's it.
Aaron, how much of this game was coming in and trying to make a mark as the starting running back? Coach Lee told me that he was kind of hoping either you or Jeremy would maybe separate yourself against Western State, and neither one of you really did that, but probably you did that. Talk about it.
I wasn't really worried about whether or not we were going to start or not. Me and Wink probably discussed it amongst ourselves. We talked about how the starter doesn't really matter. We're going to strive to make each other better. This game I wanted to just put a mark on everybody that pretty much doubted me, because I know when I first got here I didn't do exactly what everybody thought that I was going to do. So I pretty much, I just wanted to make a statement to everybody and show that I'm coming out of my shell and I'm more comfortable with everybody now.
Coach, can you talk about Aaron's performance tonight?
I think it's kind of like what he's saying. He played tonight like we kind of all expected him to when we recruited him and saw him play in the spring and see him in practice every day. He has those flashes that, he could become the next dominant tailback here, and he did it. He had some runs tonight and some plays that reminded me a lot of Keithon Fleming a little bit, and some of the stuff out of the backfield, and finished some plays and had some power to him, and he did some really good things. And I think that's the key. But it was what we talked about as a staff and going into camp. It's going to be some point he's going to have to, one of those tailbacks is going to have to show out and really do it. And he was the one tonight. So.
What were some of the adjustments y'all made on offense from the first half to the second half? Y'all looked so much more effective those last 2 weeks.
Oh, really? Defensively, it was get lined up was what Coach Perimsky told them, and just get where you need to be. And Coach Lee told them finish the play and get where you need to be and catch some balls, and that's truly it, wasn't it?
Do your job. Stop trying to do
Maybe
much.
that's the key, and that's probably maybe the G-rated version of the conversation at halftime with those coordinators. But it was the truth. It wasn't scheme. When we throw the swing pass to start the game and we drop a ball and we look at it and they pick it up and run it back, and we let an opening play go for 60, 70 yards, maybe more, untouched. Well, that's 14 points. That's not rocket science for these guys, I don't think. Get where you need to be and finish the play and do what you're supposed to do, and that's where it comes to. It's the players are 50-50 with the coaches. At some point, we got to put them in a position to win, and then they got to finish and make plays to do it, and that's what we did tonight.
Talked about the two phases of offense and defense. Talk about the special teams, which you coached, the spark that you got on the opening kickoff, the second half, and the punt return.
Yeah, I think, Nathan did a great job. Jerry and Rome did a fantastic job tonight returning kicks, and the guys in the front wedge and punt return and all that did a good job of blocking. They really did. I think we practice it pretty hard. I think we get after it during the week. I think we kind of concentrate on it, and it was one of those phases that had to do something. One side of the ball out of the three had to do something to change the flow of the game. And it just happened to be tonight, a couple punt returns and a kickoff return that kind of got the energy going and created maybe a little belief in the comeback.
Let's keep with the special teams and come down here to Sergio. Sergio, you were the only scoring early in the game for the Buffaloes, but there with a little under a minute to go, you're out there to win the game. Kind of a kicker's dream. What's going through your head and confidence level?
Monchi, the snapper, he had told me since, the third quarter, might come down to us. So, just getting mental reps and, just stay calm. Just taking my deep breaths and, just like an extra point.
When you trot out on the field, sometimes do you feel like you're bailing out the offense or you're supplementing them with points? What's your thought? Because a lot of times when you put 60, 70 points on the board, a field goal is usually, oh man, not that. But
yeah. Sometimes I get mad at Vaughn because he don't give me a piece of the pie. I want to play too. But I just doing my job. And I give thanks to Monchi and to John. O-line. Just giving me the time. Just to be able to kick well.
Let's go back to Aaron for just a second here. Aaron, the Buffs offense, people think of it as being air raid and all pass, but the last year with Kyrie Robinson and now tonight with what you've shown, it's pretty balanced.
I felt that our offensive coordinator, Coach Lee, I knew what his expectations was. I know the fact at the end of the day he wants another Kyrie, but I wanted to show him that I'm not Kyrie, but I can get the job done. I want him to have trust in us, and I think that I proved myself tonight that he can trust in the run and we can do what we need to do, but also to have trust in the O-line because they've done their job and they were on the gridiron the whole time. No complaints, nothing. They did everything. They told me, they showed me where I needed to go, and they explained everything that I needed to do. And just the fact that he trusted us, it's going to make us a better team.
For any of you, the short week turnaround, do you think it played any into the factor in the slow start? Did y'all feel different? I mean, any of the players.
No, I think it was just getting used to the speed of the game, and energies were so high in that first quarter. You know, we were playing the Cowboy Stadium, and just had to really just settle in and realize if you do your job, you can stop people, and if you don't, you know, that's what happens. You get thrown on and score 21 points in the first quarter, which is not acceptable. So,
Hey, they're talking about you're filling the holes, making a lot of tackles on the run, but that fourth down interception. Tell us about that call and how you ended up in that place.
well, it's been like pulling teeth with me. I haven't been getting a lot of depth in practice, and Coach Shea was telling me to stay inside 3 and get depth. So and they'd run that post pattern, or well, I don't know whether it was a stick or he was slanting inside. And
You're saying stuff now.
I just saw it, and I turned around, and I thought I was dreaming. The ball was right there, and I was like, please, God, don't let me drop this.
There it is.
That was my only concern. And then when I caught it, I was just in cloud nine. It was amazing.
Coach, can you talk about Dustin Vaughn's performance tonight? He seems to be the one guy we haven't talked about.
Well, I think it was steady Eddie, really. You know, I mean, he made a play on, I want to say he was going back towards this end zone here, where he kind of gets flushed out and scrambles around a little bit and stays alive. And, you know, he doesn't take the sack on it. You know, he kind of throws the ball away and gets smashed. But if he takes the sack there, we're in bad shape. We're not going to be able to convert. And then he ends up converting on that one. And then there's the other one, where we get the holding penalty and then we get the offsides. We throw the touchdown to silence, and then it's a holding penalty, gets called back, and then we flinch, and then we're backed up, and it's like first and forever. Everybody's panicked, and then we just nickel, dime, and then we convert, and we're where we need to be, and that's it, It's a proven quarterback with the leadership, he knows what to do. He's been there, and that's the difference sometimes, just that composure.
Anything else for the Buffaloes? Congratulations, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Exciting win. Best of luck next week.
I'm not jumping.